Hello, welcome back to the NOTCAST, 2nd of January 2025. We're in the year of... What films were set in the year 2025? Thor. Is it Love and Thunder? Great. Can't think of any other films set in the year 2025. But anyway, here we are, living in the future. Where's my robot butler? And where is my meal in pill form, I guess. Still, we're here, and that's how it is. So today, I'm going to talk about some random stuff. I was going to do a wrap-up of 2024, but I can't for a number of reasons. The first one is I have ordered the best film of 2024, and it hasn't yet arrived, so I can't show it to you, so I'll do that later. I know what the best record is of 2024. I need to talk about the best television I've seen in 2024. And that ties in with one of the reasons why I can't give you a full yearly rundown of what happened in 2024, because 2024 was one of my least favourite years in a very, very long time. I have had some really bad years in my life. 2007 was particularly bad. 2000 was dog shit on a plate. 1995 wasn't great. 1991 was pretty rough. But overall, I can't talk about why 2024 was a bad year. Because it involves other people. I should respect their privacy and dignity, even if they don't respect their own. And one of the other reasons is because I've signed a non-disclosure agreement with a former employer who has told me that despite the fact they can't find any paperwork, it still applies. So I guess I've got to listen to or take that into account. But they're a lying, thieving bunch of bastards and a rabble of utter shite. So, with that in mind, 2024 is something that I have had to basically just put in the bin. It's been a really, really tough year. I have, however, been to some amazing gigs. I've watched some amazing films. I've had some amazing experiences with lovely people. Had some really nice times, actually. Lots of good in it. And I'm a glass half full kind of guy. So, if life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Say, hey, no, I ordered a cheeseburger with that. No, that's a dad joke. I've gone full partridge. Oops. Anyway, it is part of my normal random record rummage. Rather than me spend 50 minutes talking at you about an album, which some of you don't care about, I am instead going to rifle through the bag of dreams and see what's in here. So let's see what's in here. I'm not quite sure what it is. Usual rules apply. Child labour has been implemented. Therefore, my apologies to a child. Let's go for the LP first and see what it is. Now, this is a biggie. I am going to guess this might be the Shaman's Hempton Manor, but I could be wrong. No, I am wrong. This is Subhuman by Recoil. Recoil are the side project, or now the main project, of Alan Wilder, formerly of Depeche Mode. And I really like Recoil, actually. I think they're really good. They've done some really good, solid stuff. This is their most recent and to-date final studio album, released in 2007. I bought the CD and DVD edition, which comes with a 5.1 surround sound mix, I think, on a DVD, because Blu-rays hadn't been invented at that point. I didn't buy the vinyl. This is a repressing I got from Mute Records about this time last year, and they're reducing their sale to £20. And I think Recoil are really good. I think they do need perhaps a stronger songwriter than they do have. Alan is very, very good at production, very good at layering, very good at sounds, not so good at writing immediately accessible melodies, choruses, or anything like that. And but if I want to get into a certain particular mood, this is absolutely what I ask for. And this was released in 2007 to very, very small, one would say, in fact, minimal interest, and disappeared from circulation for a number of years. And original vinyl pressings used to sell for hundreds of pounds. Or when Mute repressed them and realised only about 500 people actually wanted the original vinyl pressing, then discounted it when they printed more than 500. Allegedly. Not that I can confirm or deny any of what's in there. I like this stuff. It's not for everybody at all. It's very atmospheric. It's very moody. You can completely hear why someone might sit there and go, actually, this would be really great if this guy was Depeche Mode's producer. But that's instead a completely different conversation, because if I have to press the button that says how many days until the internet has operated since Alan Wilder has to get back in Depeche Mode, I then have to press 0 of my own, and I'm absolutely not that kind of person. But this was discounted in the Christmas sales, Christmas 2023, by Mute Records, and they sent me a spare copy of it. So I don't even know if I've still got that, actually. Hang on a second, let me check. If I've still got it, I'll put it up, and someone who wants it can have it for free. Do you know, I don't know if I've still got it or not. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, so if you're watching this and you want a copy of Recoil's Subhuman on vinyl, which is still sealed, I think, let me know and bribe me with something and I'll send it to you. So there you are. Obviously, I need to send it to the moon. I can't afford postage to the moon, but I can send it to you. This one, by the way, also contains the flyer that comes for A Strange Hour in Budapest, Recoil's 2011 concert Blu-ray that was released, that features a live show from Recoil's one and only tour where they played in Budapest in 2011. And that's a great DVD stroke Blu-ray, actually. Really enjoy it. You should enjoy it too. Right, that's one. Let's see what else is in here. It's not going to be a 12-inch record, I know that. So let's have a look and see. So this is a 7-inch. Oh, I know this band. I know this band. Kraftwerk, The Model. I think their #1 single from 1982. Originally released as Computer Love, with The Model on the B-side, and then the radio programmers started playing Das Model instead. So here we have it. And Kraftwerk's career could have been completely different had they had a non-album B-side on this single as opposed to Computer Love. Computer Love was released as the final single from the album Computer World in 1981, and that whole single was released in 1982. It wasn't a great hit. People started playing the B-side, The Model, instead. It got to #1, and then the band promptly capitalised upon their success by disappearing, not playing any live shows in the UK for 9 years, and losing 2 members before they did that again. It's a really good song. I think a lot of people think of it as the epitome of Kraftwerk, and I think that they have a much, much better, far stronger songs than The Model. It's a good song. I really like it. But to me, it's just another Kraftwerk song as opposed to anything else. So there you go. Can't wax lyrical about that. Apart from that, obviously, I think it has a German language version, which I have talked about in a previous NOTCAST. And I always thought that they should put the German language versions of tracks on the B-sides of singles, which of course they didn't do for The Model, or more correctly Computer Love, so therefore they wouldn't have had a hit had they followed me. So it's probably not always, it's probably a good thing that they don't always listen to me, is it? District 9, the debut film by Neil Blomkamp, who has, in my opinion, made some really good films and some really bad films. I think he made Elysium, which I thought was really very good. I could be wrong there. He made Chappie, which wasn't so great. I think he's made something else after that, but I can't remember what it is. District 9 is a South African science fiction movie about aliens coming to live on Earth and obviously being segregated. Complete apartheid metaphor, analogy there. Well done, well integrated. I think it goes quite well in terms of how it follows. It does follow, if I remember correctly, and I haven't seen the film for about 10 years, a relatively predictable plot line. But on the other hand, it's a really good film, actually. A fantastic, exciting debut from a new filmmaker. But one that over time you realised he started to have diminishing returns, to the point where Chappie was basically an X-rated short circuit. And Elysium is again another film that follows the same kind of plot about the differences and the segregations between various social classes, and does so in an unsubtle fashion, is probably the best way to describe it. Now, is it good? I need to watch it again. Memorable set pieces. Can't remember much about it. Okay. Oh, lovely. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Love this film. One of my favourite films. I think it came out 2024 yet. Probably my second favourite film of 2024, so I can't mention it as my favourite. And this obviously has not arrived. This is the part of the Mad Max saga. Furiosa is a prequel to Mad Max Fury Road. I love this film. I love the George Miller films. I think he's got a fantastic vision, and I really enjoy them. So obviously this has cars, trucks, explosions, chases, the desert. It's got some very interesting ideas around what a post-apocalyptic society might look like, what the shape of a world where things like, Wi-Fi doesn't exist, where we're reduced to that basic scrabbling around on our needs for survival. And I think it's a really good film. I love the set pieces. I think Chris Hemsworth just completely chews the scenery here and does a fantastic job. He's clearly having a whale of a time doing this. And it's a very good film. I also like the fact that there are actually multiple endings to this that are shown all consistently at the end of the film. So you never quite know what really happened. And the answer is, I don't really know. But there you are. So Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I really love this film. I recommend it to you highly. So, what have we got? We've got CD. Ooh, another choice by the Depeche Modes. So this is Pro CD 5240, or the promotional CD that went with the box set. The box set, so in 1990 or thereabouts, Depeche Mode released box sets 1, 2 and 3, each of which contained 6 CD singles, each of which contained a selection of the best tracks from the various singles that were released at the time before CD singles were a regular thing. And when CD singles were a regular thing. And this is a promotional CD that was released in America to promote that, so people could play that on the airwaves. Coming from the new Depeche Mode box set. This is from CD 3, and this features A's and B's of a number of tracks from that time. I think I picked this up for about £5. And it's got Shake the Disease, Flexible, It's Called a Heart, Stripped But Not Tonight, Black Day, Christmas Island. Effectively, if you wanted to get the best of the B-sides without having to shell out for it, this is the thing to go for. Although the CD that goes for 1 and 2 is basically just a B-sides compilation, and that is much better. Nonetheless, this really good. Nice little CD sampler. No reason for it existing apart from obviously commerce. And then the final selection, and I think I know what this is. Yes, it is The Abyss, the novelisation to James Cameron's best film made in 1989. Yes, his best film, better than Aliens, better than Terminator 1 and better than Terminator 2. Although those first 4 were all fantastic. The Abyss has very recently been released on Blu-ray and 4K. This is a novelisation by Orson Scott Card. And Orson Scott Card, if I remember correctly, wrote the book that turned into, was it Seventh Son of a Seventh Son? The Iron Maiden album with the same name in 1988? Very possibly. Let me just quickly check by looking in the books also written by this guy. Seventh Son, yeah. And so Seventh Son there is on there. Alongside Speaker for the Dead, Ender's Game, which later became a film starring the Harrison Ford, Worms and Red Prophet. And this is the first, I think, movie novelisation that he's done. The Abyss is a great film. I haven't read this in about 35 years, so I can't tell you whether this is actually any good or not. From memory, this is quite good, actually, from memory. But my memory is not great. That said, The Abyss is, in my opinion, James Cameron's best film. And the problem is, this book does commit a cardinal sin of fiction. It contains a map. And any book that contains a map is automatically not great, because if you constantly need to go back to the first few pages and go, hang on a minute, he's gone into the consumable storage ladder well on Deep Core 2 level 3. And you kind of go, not sure what that means, but okay. And then there's a geolab and God knows what else. None of it necessarily makes any sense. So let's take a peek at a random paragraph. Right, we'll go here. Oh my words. These are long, long paragraphs. Jammer felt like a shit-eating fool. Of course, everybody had been listening in. Everybody knew it was Jammer who'd lost it, Jammer who couldn't take it. He knew that it might have happened to anybody, and they were always on edge down there, that you never know who's going to blow. But the fact was that it was him this time, calm, cool Jammer. And even now, he was so jittery that it took real effort to breathe slow and steady. The worst thing was that Bud's lights weren't always visible. Sometimes he'd go behind something, and now he was just plain getting too far. This room was too big. It was possible to lose the lights at the far end of the room if they were pointed the wrong way, etc., etc. So The Abyss is, in my opinion, a really interesting film about man's first contact with aliens, which it doesn't necessarily know about, caused by an investigation into a high technology drilling station. A mysterious force sends the submarine USS Montana spinning out of control, and Deep Core is commandeered as the base for a naval rescue operation. And it's really interesting. Now, it follows the standard. I mean, it could be anything down there, right? It could be a scary monster. It could be the guys from Help My House is Haunted going on about imps down the bottom. I don't know, Barry, Jane and Ian, which sound like a people on Rainbow, isn't it? Or Rod, Jane and Freddie. Maybe they should have a ghost hunting team called Rod, Jane and Freddie, where they actually take the characters of children's 70s TV shows and then go ghost hunting with it. Thanks, Netflix. I'll have $100,000 for that. Let's see. Why buy 95k for an AI machine? Just get a wacky human to come up with ideas. I'm not a wacky human. I'm quite a dull one. But The Abyss is, again, one from my selection of movie novels that I got for £10 from World of Books a few years ago. This one I don't think was in that. I think actually it was £2 on a shelf in a bookshop somewhere. And let's just quickly go through chapter 6, high pressure nervous syndrome. So there you go. Some of the chapter titles are good, some are not good. Let's just quickly check. Most of them are named after characters: Buddy, Lindsay, Coffee, Contact, Civilian Asset. Okay, Friends and Enemies. The song's called Enemies, Friends, and it's by Hope of the States. And that is pretty much it, really. That's my selection of weird and unusual stuff. A short, sweet episode. I am low bandwidth today, so I'm giving you a low bandwidth episode. It's short, it's sweet, it's probably quite sugary, who knows? And if you like it, great. And if you don't, well, there's another one coming up in a few days, very probably Monday night, actually, come to think of it. And today is a Thursday, so maybe Thursday you can sleep, as the great GNR has it. That is my selection. Have fun in the meantime. Stay beautiful, love bugs. And I will see you soon. Maybe. Maybe not. I have some news, but that will be coming when I know a little bit more about it. Okay. See you later.